When Jasmine first joined Lincoln High, she was excited to become the new cheerleader. She had practiced for years and was ready to shine. But instead of a warm welcome, she faced cold shoulders and whispers from some of the other students. They teased her about everything, her style, her voice, even the way she cheered. It wasn't about who she was, it was about making her feel like she didn't belong. Jasmine tried to ignore the teasing, focusing on her routines and schoolwork. But the bullying only got worse. One afternoon, during practice, a group of students pushed her aside and mocked her in front of everyone. Feeling overwhelmed, Jasmine texted her dad, not knowing that what was about to happen would turn everything around. Jasmine's dad, Marcus, was a calm and strong man. He had served as a Navy SEAL for years, trained to handle the toughest situations with discipline and courage. When he read Jasmine's message about the bullying, his protective instincts kicked in immediately. The next day, Marcus showed up at Lincoln High, not as a strict father, but as someone who wanted to understand what was going on. He asked to meet with the school principal and the students involved. At first, the bullies didn't take him seriously. They thought he was just another parent trying to make a fuss. But Marcus's quiet confidence and respectful tone made them pause. He didn't shout or threaten. Instead, he shared stories about teamwork, respect, and standing up for what's right, lessons he had learned both in the military and as a father. Marcus's visit quickly became the talk of Lincoln High. The students who had been bullying Jasmine started to realize that this wasn't just a typical parent coming to complain. Marcus carried himself with the quiet authority of someone who had faced real challenges and demanded respect without raising his voice. During the meeting with the principal and the group of students, Marcus didn't just talk about Jasmine's struggles. He spoke about the values he lived by: honor, integrity, and courage. He reminded everyone that strength isn't shown by putting others down, but by lifting them up. He told the students about the discipline it took to be a Navy SEAL, about the countless hours of training, teamwork, and trust required. "In my line of work," Marcus explained, "we rely on each other to have each other's backs. No one gets left behind. And bullying breaks that trust." His words struck a chord, especially with the older students who began to see Jasmine not as an outsider, but as someone deserving respect and support. Marcus then suggested a plan: instead of teasing and excluding, why not include Jasmine in their activities? He encouraged the students to learn from her strength and dedication, just as he had learned from his team. The principal nodded in agreement, promising to implement programs promoting kindness and teamwork throughout the school. Most importantly, the bullies realized their actions had consequences, not just for Jasmine, but for the whole community. They felt the weight of responsibility, and a few even apologized sincerely. From that day, things started to change. Jasmine was no longer alone. She had allies who saw her for who she really was, a talented cheerleader and a person worthy of respect. With Marcus's support and the school's new focus on respect and teamwork, Jasmine's life at Lincoln High began to transform. The bullying didn't vanish overnight, but the atmosphere shifted. The students who once ignored or mocked her started to reach out, curious about her story and eager to be part of a better community. Jasmine's cheerleading skills quickly caught attention. She was determined, disciplined, and full of energy, qualities that mirrored the very lessons her dad had shared. Slowly but surely, she earned her teammates' trust and admiration. More importantly, Jasmine became a symbol of resilience. Whenever anyone tried to bring her down, she stood tall, remembering her father's words: "True strength comes from within, and respect is earned by showing it to others." Marcus didn't just stay in the background. He visited the school occasionally, volunteering to speak at assemblies about leadership, respect, and overcoming challenges. His presence reminded everyone that real courage isn't about fighting others, it's about standing up for what's right. One afternoon, during a big football game, Jasmine led the cheer squad with a routine full of energy and confidence. The crowd cheered loudly, not just for the team, but for Jasmine, the girl who had faced adversity and refused to back down. After the game, several students approached her, apologizing for their earlier behavior and asking how they could support her moving forward. Jasmine smiled, knowing that things had truly changed. Her story wasn't just about bullying anymore. It was about community, growth, and the power of a father's love and guidance. Marcus's influence had sparked a ripple effect, one that made Lincoln High a stronger, more inclusive place for everyone. As weeks passed, the positive changes at Lincoln High continued to grow. Jasmine's confidence soared, and she became not just a cheerleader but a leader among her peers. Her determination and kindness inspired others to rethink how they treated one another. Marcus saw the transformation with pride. He knew that the battle wasn't just about stopping bullying, it was about building character and fostering respect throughout the entire school. So, he worked with the administration to start mentorship programs where students could share their experiences, learn from one another, and support those facing difficulties. Jasmine took part in these programs, sharing her story and encouraging others to find their own inner strength. The school's culture slowly shifted away from exclusion and cruelty toward empathy and cooperation. One day, during the school's annual award ceremony, Jasmine was called to the stage, not just for her cheerleading but for her courage and leadership. As she stood before the crowd, she glanced at her dad sitting proudly in the front row. With a bright smile, she spoke, "I want everyone here to know that no matter what you're facing, you can overcome it. You just need to believe in yourself and remember you're never truly alone." The crowd erupted in applause. The students who once doubted her now looked at Jasmine with respect and admiration. The bullies who had targeted her had learned a valuable lesson about kindness and strength. Marcus and Jasmine's story became a beacon of hope, not just for their school but for the wider community. It showed that with love, courage, and understanding, even the hardest challenges could be overcome. And most importantly, it proved that true strength isn't about fighting others, it's about standing up for what's right, protecting those you love, and inspiring change. Life at Lincoln High had transformed, but Marcus and Jasmine knew the journey was ongoing. Bullying didn't disappear completely overnight, but with the foundation of respect now firmly in place, the school community was ready to face challenges together. Marcus dedicated more time to mentoring not only Jasmine but also other students who felt marginalized or overlooked. He started organizing small workshops on resilience, leadership, and the importance of teamwork. These workshops quickly became popular, drawing in students from different backgrounds who were eager to learn how to support each other. Jasmine, once shy and uncertain, blossomed into a natural leader. She began volunteering as a peer counselor, helping students navigate their struggles and encouraging them to stay strong. Her experiences made her a role model, especially for younger students who looked up to her courage and determination. One afternoon, during a school assembly, Jasmine shared a heartfelt speech about overcoming obstacles, not with anger or retaliation, but with kindness, confidence, and perseverance. She spoke about how her father's example as a Navy SEAL taught her that true strength means protecting others and standing tall even when things get tough. Her words resonated deeply with the students and teachers alike. Several students who had once been distant or hostile began to approach Jasmine, seeking friendship and understanding. The walls that had divided the student body slowly came down, replaced by new connections built on respect. The school's cheer team, now more united than ever, performed flawlessly at every game. Their routines showcased not only skill but also the spirit of teamwork and mutual support that Marcus and Jasmine had helped foster. Behind the scenes, Marcus worked closely with the school counselors and administration to develop a long-term anti-bullying strategy. He advocated for policies that emphasized empathy, communication, and conflict resolution, rather than punishment alone. Thanks to these efforts, Lincoln High started to become known as a school where diversity was celebrated and students could feel safe and valued. But perhaps the most important change was within Jasmine herself. She learned to embrace her identity and background with pride, no longer hiding or shrinking in the face of challenges. Instead, she stood tall as a symbol of resilience and hope. And whenever anyone doubted her, Marcus reminded her gently, "You carry the strength of your whole family and your community. That strength will always see you through." Together, they showed everyone that the greatest victories aren't just on the field or in the spotlight, they happen when people come together to lift each other up, breaking down barriers and building a future full of possibility. Months passed, and the atmosphere at Lincoln High had shifted in ways no one could have predicted. What had begun as a simple act of standing up against bullying grew into a powerful movement of unity and empowerment throughout the school. Jasmine's story became a symbol of change, inspiring many students to reevaluate their own attitudes and actions. Teachers noticed the difference, too. Classrooms buzzed with more collaboration and respect, and the once fractured social groups began to blend. The school's counselor, Ms. Thompson, who had worked tirelessly alongside Marcus and Jasmine, shared stories of students who had found their voices and confidence because of the new environment. Jasmine herself was growing in ways beyond cheerleading. She started a student-led club focused on leadership and community service. The club's mission was simple but profound: to build bridges between students, promote kindness, and provide support to those facing challenges. The club quickly attracted a diverse group: athletes, artists, quiet students, and outspoken leaders, all united by a desire to make their school a better place. Together, they organized events like mentorship programs for freshmen, anti-bullying workshops, and charity drives for local causes. Marcus continued to support from the sidelines, often attending club meetings as a guest speaker. His stories of perseverance, teamwork, and honor captivated the students, reminding them that strength is shown not by dominating others, but by lifting them up. One afternoon, during a leadership retreat organized by the club, Jasmine spoke candidly about her journey. She shared moments of doubt and fear, but also the unwavering love and support from her father that gave her the courage to keep going. Her honesty moved many students, some of whom quietly admitted they had once been part of the bullying. It was a moment of healing, not just for Jasmine, but for the entire group. Forgiveness replaced resentment, and understanding took root where suspicion had lived. Meanwhile, the school administration noticed a sharp decline in disciplinary incidents related to harassment or exclusion. They credited the combined efforts of students, parents, and staff for transforming Lincoln High's culture. The local community even caught wind of the positive changes, with news outlets highlighting Lincoln High as a model for fostering inclusivity and respect in schools. Through it all, Jasmine remained humble and focused. She continued to train hard, knowing her success wasn't just about trophies or cheers, it was about setting an example and paving the way for others. Marcus watched his daughter grow into a leader with pride but also with a quiet understanding that this was only the beginning. Together, they had sparked something bigger than themselves, a legacy of courage, compassion, and change. As the school year progressed, Jasmine's influence at Lincoln High only grew stronger. She was no longer just the new cheerleader who had faced bullying, she was a leader, an inspiration, and a bridge between different groups of students. Her story was shared during assemblies, in classrooms, and even at community events. The student-led club she helped create became a cornerstone of the school's culture. Members worked tirelessly to ensure everyone felt seen and supported. They hosted weekly meetings where students could share their experiences, brainstorm solutions, and plan initiatives to promote kindness and understanding. One of the most successful projects was a buddy system, where older students paired up with freshmen to help them navigate the challenges of high school life. Jasmine took on several ments herself, dedicating time to help them build confidence and develop their own strengths. Marcus continued to be a steady presence. Beyond his military background, he had a genuine gift for connecting with young people. He volunteered to lead workshops on resilience and leadership, sharing lessons not only from his Navy SEAL training but from his life as a father. During one workshop, Marcus spoke about the importance of empathy. Strength isn't just about muscle or skill, he told the students. It's about understanding others, standing up for them, and being the kind of person who makes a difference without needing recognition. These words deeply impacted the students. Many realized that true leadership wasn't about popularity or power, it was about service and respect. Meanwhile, Jasmine balanced her new responsibilities with her schoolwork and cheerleading. Her coaches noticed her growing maturity and determination, often praising her ability to motivate the team and handle pressure with grace. The team's performance improved dramatically, fueled not only by their talent but by the sense of unity and purpose Jasmine had helped foster. At the end of the year, Lincoln High held its biggest event yet, the annual school showcase, where all the clubs and teams presented their achievements. Jasmine led the cheer team in a flawless routine that received a standing ovation. After the performance, she gave a speech that left many in tears. She thanked her father for his unwavering support and challenged her classmates to continue building a community where everyone could thrive. Her message was clear: change begins with one person willing to stand up, and it grows when others choose to follow with kindness and courage. The story of Jasmine and her Navy SEAL dad had started as a personal struggle but became a powerful movement, one that would leave a lasting impact on Lincoln High for years to come. By the time the school year was nearing its end, the transformation at Lincoln High was undeniable. What had started as a personal challenge for Jasmine had blossomed into a full-scale movement that brought the entire school together in a way no one expected. Jasmine's leadership extended beyond the cheer squad and the student club. She began collaborating with teachers and administrators to develop workshops focused on conflict resolution, emotional intelligence, and self-confidence. These sessions were designed to help students understand one another better, resolve disputes peacefully, and foster a culture of mutual respect. The ripple effect of these changes spread into classrooms, hallways, and even sporting events. Teachers reported that students were more engaged and respectful, and instances of teasing or exclusion dropped dramatically. Students who had once felt invisible found new friends and support, creating an atmosphere where everyone had a chance to shine. Marcus stayed closely involved, serving as a mentor and role model for students struggling with challenges of their own. He often shared how his military experiences taught him the importance of resilience, but also the power of compassion. He encouraged students to think beyond themselves and consider how their actions impacted others. One evening, Marcus and Jasmine were invited to speak at a community event celebrating youth leadership. As they took the stage together, Marcus looked at his daughter with pride. Jasmine's confidence radiated as she recounted her journey, from feeling isolated and bullied to becoming a beacon of hope and change. She spoke passionately about the power of standing up not with anger, but with dignity and respect. "We all have challenges," she told the crowd. "But how we respond, with kindness, courage, and unity, defines who we are." Their story inspired many in the audience, sparking conversations about how communities could work together to support young people facing adversity. Back at school, Jasmine's impact was felt in every corner. The student-led club grew, welcoming members from all backgrounds and interests. Their initiatives expanded to include community service projects, fundraisers, and partnerships with local organizations focused on youth empowerment. The cheer team, once divided by tension and exclusion, had become a close-knit group that cheered not just for sports but for each other's successes. Jasmine's journey was a testament to the power of one person's strength and the profound difference that love and support can make. It showed that when people come together with open hearts and minds, even the toughest challenges can be overcome. Lincoln High was no longer just a school, it was a community transformed by courage, compassion, and the enduring bond between a daughter and her Navy SEAL dad. The final months of the school year were filled with a sense of accomplishment and hope. Lincoln High had undergone a transformation that rippled far beyond the hallways and classrooms. Jasmine had become a symbol of resilience, leadership, and the positive change that one person and their support system could inspire. As graduation approached, the entire school community came together to celebrate not only academic achievements but the progress they had made in building a more inclusive and supportive environment. Jasmine was honored with the school's Leadership Award, a recognition reserved for students who exemplify courage, dedication, and a commitment to uplifting others. During her acceptance speech, Jasmine reflected on the journey that had brought her to this moment. She spoke about the challenges she had faced, the moments of doubt, and the strength she found in her father's unwavering belief in her. "My dad taught me that strength isn't just physical, it's about standing up for what's right, even when it's hard," she said. "He showed me that true courage comes from kindness, respect, and never giving up on yourself or others." Marcus, sitting in the audience with pride shining in his eyes, knew that this moment was the culmination of much more than just Jasmine's personal growth. It was a testament to the power of family, community, and the impact that one voice, when backed by love and conviction, can have. After the ceremony, students, teachers, and parents gathered to share stories of how the school had changed. Many spoke about the newfound sense of belonging, the friendships formed, and the lessons learned. Jasmine's cheer team performed one last routine, filled with energy and spirit, symbolizing the unity and strength they had built together. The crowd erupted in cheers, not just for the performance, but for the journey everyone had taken. Marcus and Jasmine walked together, knowing their story was far from over. They had sparked a movement that would continue to grow, inspiring future students to lead with heart and courage. Lincoln High was no longer a place defined by division or exclusion. It was a community that celebrated diversity, resilience, and the power of standing together. And at the heart of it all was a father's love and a daughter's bravery, a reminder that sometimes, the greatest battles are won not with fists, but with respect, empathy, and unwavering support. In the months following graduation, Jasmine's story continued to inspire not only students at Lincoln High but communities beyond. Local news outlets picked up the tale of the determined cheerleader and her Navy SEAL father who stood up against bullying with courage and compassion. Jasmine decided to use her experience to help others. She volunteered with youth organizations, sharing her journey and teaching young people about resilience, leadership, and kindness. Her message was clear: everyone deserves respect, and true strength comes from lifting each other up, not tearing others down. Marcus remained her steadfast supporter, proud not only of his daughter's achievements but of the positive impact they had created together. They often spoke about how challenges can become opportunities to grow, unite, and inspire. Lincoln High maintained its renewed spirit, with programs continuing to promote inclusion, teamwork, and mutual respect. Jasmine's legacy was cemented in the school culture, a lasting reminder of what can happen when one voice refuses to be silenced. The once divided school was now a community bound by understanding and hope. And Jasmine, the girl who had once been targeted, now stood at the center, a shining example of courage, resilience, and the power of family. Their story proved that no matter where you start, with love, determination, and support, you can change your world and the world around you.